welcome to Bumble Stitch's Twixtmas. I hope you're all well and I hope you had a lovely Christmas time. Today is Monday the 27th of December, so, and I only know that because I had to check, and we are most definitely in that Twixtmas in between Christmas and New Year. If you're a watcher of my floss tube videos, you will know that I last year did the Flossmas series, which was every day in December, and there have been lots of fabulous ones this year from other floss tubers. I was a little bit too busy to commit to that this year, so I thought while I'm off working between Christmas and New Year, it would be nice to pop on and do some short videos every day between now and probably till New Year's Day, just to share a little bit of what I've been up to with you, show you a few things, and just have a little bit of fun generally. So I hope you all got time now in this in-between time to share these short videos with me every day. I've had the most amazing Christmas time. It was very low-key for us this year. It was just Justin and myself and my mum and Jessie, of course, her little poodle, and Justin's dad. So it's just us for Christmas Day. We had a wonderful lunch. I was in charge of cooking, and if I say so myself, it was a lovely, lovely Christmas lunch, and the whole day went really, really well. So that was a nice day. Yesterday was Boxing Day, and again, we had lots of lovely food to eat, made the most of the leftovers of the turkey and stuffing and ham and all the wonderful things that you have in the fridge after Christmas, which is just perfect for a relaxing family day. So this morning, Mum and Jessie have gone back home. So the house feels a little bit empty, especially with that little Jess running around. So we had some breakfast. I did a tiny bit of stitching this morning. I just popped a couple of very, very short bits of filming as well at the beginning of this little episode. I went to have my weigh-in. I'm following the Slimming World diet in preparation for Justin and I getting married in April, trying to lose a few pounds before I go looking for a dress. So yeah, I went for a little weigh-in, and the damage isn't too bad. I'm pleased to report it was only 1.5 pounds. But it's easy to see, isn't it, with just 3 days of feasting, how that weight can creep back on. So I'm trying to be good now and ignore all the wonderful chocolates and lovely sweet things and cheeses and all that loveliness that's hanging around the house still. So it's just Justin and I now. It's going to be a few chilled days. I'm hoping to get some sewing done. I'm hoping to do a little bit of baking tomorrow because I didn't get a chance before Christmas, so I'm going to make a couple of things tomorrow, and if you're good I might let you come in the kitchen with me, and if you watch last year's Flossmas videos you'll know that me and things in the kitchen sometimes can end up with quite sort of comedic results. So yeah, we'll have a little go at that tomorrow, and I'll share with you what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. But for today's video, I thought I would just give you a run through of all my wonderful Advent gifts that I got from my friend Paula, who I know you will have heard of because I mention her quite a lot on my floss tubes. And Paula and I did a swap of Advent calendars this year. And oh my goodness, I know who got the better end of the deal, because everything that Paula gave me was absolutely beautiful, and quite a lot of handmade gifts in there as well. So I'm going to run through everything that I got in my Advent, and I'm also going to show you some of the crafty presents that I got for Christmas. Again, like our Christmas Day, our Christmas presents, we really toned things down this year. Other Christmases we've gone a little bit crazy and a little bit overboard with the presents. But I must say that the presents that Justin gave me were absolutely amazing. He's obviously listening out and taking notice of the things that I like, and he did amazingly well. So let me show you some of the gifts that I got. Lulu did well on the on the crafty gifts as well. But let me show you. The first thing is I've been after a frame for my stitching for ages. As you know, I do stitch in a hoop, and sometimes holding the hoop is the thing that sort of makes me put my stitching down, so my hand gets a little bit sore. So Justin bought me this little sort of seat frame, and I'll show it to you here. And I think he picked it up on Amazon. I do have some stitching in here. As you can see, I've got my little Brenda Gervais snowman. I can't remember the name of the pattern off the top of my head. But the frame is really, really well made. So it's all wooden, and it's one of the versions where you can just clamp any size hoop into it. And I've only used it so far this morning, giving it a whirl. But so far so good. I'm really, really enjoying stitching on this frame. So that was one of my lovely gifts. So I'll pop that down there. He also bought me, well, I opened these first, which is one of the endurance blades by Alpha for a rotary cutter. And I thought, well, that's really handy, nice new blade. And I've heard good things about the endurance blades, that they do last much longer and are much sharper. But he'd also, very thoughtfully, bought me one of these Alpha cutters. And these, this is the type that I've seen Kimberly use on Fat Quarter Shop videos. The one where you hold the handle in for the blade to come out as you're using it, and when you release your grip, the blade is safely in again. And I really need something like this, because if I can cut myself, I will do it. I've been guilty in the past of, with my other Alpha rotary cutter, couldn't think then, of not retracting the blade when I put it down, and nearly come a cropper a couple of times. I mean, this year, over Christmas, I managed to burn my thumb and my finger, and then I've got a bit of a boo-boo on this one as well, where I cut it yesterday. So safety things for me are just a good idea. So those are brilliant, and I can't wait to give those a try out, which will be probably sometime this week when I do some sewing. He also bought me, and I've wanted one of these for absolutely ages, he bought me a seam roller, and this is the Laurie Holt one. So I'm really, really pleased to have that. I've not taken it out of the packaging yet, because I wanted to show it to you first. But again, really excited to try this out when I'm doing some quilting next. So that's fabulous. I told you he did well. He also bought me a copy of Laurie's flea market quilt book, and he was a little bit disappointed when I said to him that I did already have a copy of this book, so which was sent to me by Fat Quarter Shop. So I said to him, well, don't worry, I'll keep one, and then the other copy that I've got, when I do my next proper floss tube video, I'll use it for a giveaway. So it was still a really, really good present choice. So that's my presents. Those are my presents from Justin. And then, as I said, Lulu, she bought me quite a few different things, all really thoughtful. She bought me some lovely face care products and body care products. But she bought me this set of sulky threads. You can see my poor boo-boo finger there. In the neutrals, which is perfect. And I've not tried sulky threads before, so I'm really looking forward to giving these a whirl. Because I've heard, and it does actually confirm on the box, that one strand of this is the equivalent to 2 strands of regular embroidery floss. So I think that will be really good to try, especially in the pale colours, because you know what it's like when you're stitching sort of white or pale, that sometimes your stitches aren't quite as neat as you would like. So fab present there. And she bought me this book, which is, what's it called again? Labour of Love, and it's all scrappy quilts, and this is by Sherry McConnell of A Quilting Life. And I'd had my eye on this book for quite a while, and there are some stunning patterns in here. I'll just show you a couple of those that have already caught my eye. One of which is this amazing scrappy log cabin, and there's also a lovely, where is it gone? Should have marked the pages first. This one here, which is the this one here, which is gorgeous. Not just too dissimilar from the Tilda one that I'm actually currently making that I need to get finished off. I think they're called string quilts, aren't they? String blocks. So some fabulous patterns in there. So really looking forward to having a nice relaxed browse through this and picking out another quilt to start to add to the collection of quilts that I've started. Okay, so those were my sort of crafty Christmas presents, and let's move on to my wonderful advent, as I said, from Paula. She's the Snail Garden here on YouTube, and she is Eva Faith on Etsy. Now, I did share this on my last floss tube. This was the first gift that I opened from Paula for Advent Day 1, and it was this gorgeous project bag with all the snow globes. So you've probably seen that before already, and I think you may have seen one or two. But I thought it'd be fun just to go through. I've got everything in here and a couple of things on the table here. And when I get to the handmade gifts, you are going to be as wowed as I was when I opened them. Right, let's start with, I've got so much in this little basket, it's incredible. There were lots of chockies too, but they have since been enjoyed. Okay, let's start with, and these aren't in any particular order because they've all been popped into the basket. So I did share this on my last floss tube. This is the Lizzie Kate Nutcracker sled pattern, and it's on perforated paper, which is inside here, which, as I explained when I showed it first, there's 3 little pieces of perforated paper for the 3 designs. I have never stitched on perforated paper, and I was really looking forward to it. There's also some beads, but they are fixed to the chart which is inside, so I won't show you those. And what Paula's very, very cleverly done is throughout the Advent calendar, she has selected all the DMC, and if you can see them all there, for those little sled patterns. So that is wonderful. So I have everything I need there for the sleds. And then one of the days that I opened, I think it may have been Christmas Eve, I think it was Christmas Eve, was one of the little sleds there. I'm trying to see if I've got something to hold it up against that you'll be able to see it. I don't know if this will work. Let's try. Can you see? I think these are made by Foxwood something, I think. So I've already got one of the little sleds, so I just need to get 2 more, and I can get my little Lizzie Kate sleds done. So that was wonderful, and so very well thought out as well. Just pop that back there. Thought I'd sit by the Christmas tree in the dining room so you could see it. It's a bit chilly. The conservatory's just through there, as you can see, but it's just a little bit too cold out there today. Okay, so what else have I got that you haven't seen? Well, I'm going to go through everything and then you can see it all. As I said, no particular order. There was this amazing Black Cat needle minder, which I love. And I'm excited because I can start using all these things now because I was saving them to share with you all. There is some little sticky notes with cats on and some washi tape with little cat paws. Hope that's not glaring too much. Those are fab. A gorgeous needle threader in the style of a hummingbird. Some beautifully packaged, and I think Paula's done this herself, into like a little matchbook. And these are some glass-headed pins in all the lovely rainbow colours, which are gorgeous. So pop those down. I think these are going to glare like crazy, but some, if you can see, some honeycomb and bee charms in gold, which will look beautiful stitched to little pillows. And I do have a couple of bee designs in my chart stash, so I think they would look really nice stitched onto one of those. Some Just Another Button Company buttons, which are Joy. Again, these would look fabulous. They might even go on my, I can't remember his name. What is the name of this? I left it behind. They might even go nicely on this as a pillow when it's complete. Love those. Then I have, what's next? A fat quarter of some beautiful cross-stitch design quilting cotton. Again, gorgeous for the backing of a pillow. And as you may or may not know, Paula hand dyes linen, and she's very generously popped a couple of pieces of linen in my calendar. Now let me get these right. So they're both 32 count. This one, I'll show these again on a floss tube because you're getting the Christmas tree lights and all sorts. Beautiful mottling, as you can see. This one is called Moggy, which is super cute and ties in with the cat needle minder and all the little cat treats. Not actual cat treats to eat, but you know what I mean. The washi and the little post-it notes. So that's Moggy. And the other piece of linen she has called Bumble, which again is so thoughtful. Thank you, Paula. And that's this one here. The light in here isn't doing these justice, but they are absolutely beautiful in real life. So 2 pieces of linen. I told you this is the most amazing. I had a very expensive advent from Stitchery last year, which was wonderful, but this is next level adventing for sure. I then had in a couple of different parcels some ribbons, and I'll just show you these ones first. So nice spring themed pale blue there, just a cream with a self stitched embellishment to that one, and this super cute one with the bunnies, which I do have a couple of, I've got Harrietta & Co by Brenda Gervais that needs to be finished for Easter, so I think this ribbon will look spectacular on that piece. And then some gorgeous bees on this piece. These are all lovely ribbons. A lovely check, which you can never have too many check and gingham trims for your projects, and some gorgeous Christmassy red on that one. Okay, we're getting close to the exquisite handmade things. I also had a cute bumblebee tin, and this has, wasn't sure if it had some writing on it. Oh, I have missed a couple of chocolates in that one. I'll take those out. And this is so pretty because it still has designs on the inside, and Paula's popped a lovely selection of the little bulb shaped pins in there, which I love using on my little pillows. I've got one here handy out of my tiered tray, and I like to use them on the back with little buttons just as a little trim. That was a little Laurie Holt gingerbread man that I stitched last year. Or may have even been the year before. No, last year. So those are some of the Advent gifts. Now, I did share this before. This is the strawberry that Paula made for me. Made and designed. It's beautifully stitched, beautifully finished, and such a pretty design with the snowflakes. There's lots of tiny beads in the centre of the smaller snowflakes, and oops, and you can see the way she's finished the top is beautiful. And that has been on the tree in here. See if I can pop it back on without causing too much. It's quite heavy. So that's been there so that I can enjoy it all through Christmas. This next piece absolutely blew me away, and Justin thought it was the most incredible stitch thing he's ever seen. So there's this ornament here that Paula has stitched for me, and I don't know if I'm a little bit far from the camera. If I hold it up close and hopefully it focuses, there's a tiny bee in the middle, and she's backstitched the word Bumble for me. It's covered in tiny beads. This looks like it's done 1/1 on quite a small count of linen, and then there are all the eyelets on the back and all the bumblebees, and she's finished it with a tassel and the braided floss and beads all the way around. So that is something to treasure. It has been living on the Christmas tree in here, but it's not going away with the Christmas decorations. I'm going to keep it out in my craft room so that I can enjoy it through the year. But that is something very, very special. I then received this gorgeous snowman ornament, and Paula is multi-talented. She can needle felt, she can knit, she can sew, she can cross stitch. And this little snowman has been needle felted by Paula. Even all the little buttons and the nose and the eyes and the mouth are all needle felted. She's hand knitted this little tiny hat and scarf, and real twigs for his arms, and a little tiny snowflake charm for his hat. And I think he's absolutely perfect. Just amazing. He's been living on the top tier of the tiered tray. So I'm going to pop him back there because he's in charge of the top tier. He lives on there. And then finally, we did include an extra present for Christmas Day, and this is just so pretty. Paula stitched this pillow for me, Comfort and Joy. I think this is I'm trying to think of the designer. I think it's Luminous something. You're probably all shouting at the screen now. I think the designer might be Misty Purcell, but I can't remember the name of the company off the top of my head. But look at the beauty of this piece. I love the colours. Paula's stitching is beautiful, and she's backed it with this lovely coordinating fabric that matches the urn perfectly. So you can see how these colours match so perfectly. So wasn't I lucky and wasn't I spoiled? I absolutely loved every moment of it. And Paula, if you're watching, thank you again so much. You made me so happy every day that I opened a gift from you. Well, I think that's probably enough for today's little video. It's gone on way longer than I thought it would. I will pop back tomorrow. As I said, I'm going to be in the kitchen, so yeah, you might need to brace yourselves for that. Do a bit of baking. I've got a little bit of sort of decorating to do in the kitchen of the icing kind, so things could get quite interesting. But enjoy the rest of your Monday, this Twixtmas, and I'll see you then. Bye.